In this episode, we're talking style, skills, and swagger as we unleash 5 super SUVs that impress no matter where they're cruising.
Everything in this build is custom. I took it to the extreme.
We've got pure power and mad modifications.
Everybody think it's gonna hurt your ears.
It is slammed on the ground with ginormous wheels.
Original style and sophistication.
I love the rawness of the Land Rover.
You're not going to find another one because it's the only one in existence.
And rides that are just straight up sexy.
She's, I say, a diamond in the rough.
These sensational SUVs are taking all-wheel drive in a new direction. Our first ride makes SUVs spicy.
Sexy, expensive, and fun.
And it'll give you one hell of a ride.
I can't say the word, but that's the baddest they've ever seen in their life.
This is the Excursion.
Started out as a work truck I bought 10 years ago. Hauled around tools, air conditioning units. Ended up being a family car, hauling around dogs to the beach. And then my son said, hey, Daddy, let's do a show truck. So now I just go to all over the United States and doing car shows. The lady came up to me one day, she said, why do you call your truck the Excursion? I said, well, look, is it an excursion? She said, yeah. I said, is it sexy? She said, yeah. I said, well, it's Excursion, there it is. Her husband said, oh my God, I hope you got a mattress in the back.
To put it simply, the Excursion is a Ford Excursion that's sexy. But this ain't no simple ride. Franklin Williams has built one of the most decorated SUVs in America. It's won over 100 awards for Best in Show and beaten over 2,500 entries to claim that top spot. With endless features inside and out, Franklin put in the time to make this SUV super.
Working on it for 5 years now. I started out as a simple lift kit, 20-inch tires, and going to a 19-inch lift kit with 42-inch tires now. Redone all the factory seats to black alligator and ostrich, removed the second row bench and put captain's chairs there and covered the same way, removed the third row, dyed the whole interior black, all the trim. The Excursion is the only SUV that I know of that has Lamborghini doors anywhere in the world. These doors in this truck are the factory doors from 2003. The only thing we changed was the hinge lift assembly. A good 3 days of bolting, maneuvering, shimming, getting them to where they shut correctly.
Man, that's crazy.
Here we got custom Amani wheels, 30 by 16s, heavy duty, sling some mud. The rims are powder gold. And if you look at the lug nuts, they are designed to keep people from actually stealing them because they are sharp like razor blades. If you go grab one, you'll find out.
Security and style? Nice one, brother.
If you want to run big wheels and tires, you got to put some lift under it. People cannot believe that you can raise it up with a flip of a button. The airbags open and close, lets air in and out so you can have a smoother ride. Custom badging, billets, powder coated. Tops of the mirrors are gold. The grill insert is a custom grill made. It's got some gold in it. Custom TSO 5-inch tip. Custom swords made with the custom Memphis gold. Custom built headlights. Got the Excursion engraved into the lens.
And the detail ain't just on the outside.
The interior is a super hit. As soon as you open the doors and they see the Lamborghini doors fly open, they see the ostrich and alligator seats, they just start touching it. We have a 60-inch curved Samsung in the back. We open the doors up, you can hook a PlayStation to it, you can hook a DVD player to it, you can even Bluetooth your phone to it. Walk up there and see a 60-inch flat screen TV sitting in the back there. Wondering, can they watch football on it? I said, sure we can. Has TVs in each door, has TVs on the sun visors. Got a banging stereo system in it, so you just turn it wide open and hit the road and keep rolling.
This SUV is kitted out better than most condos. Not only that, you can take it anywhere.
Excursion is fun to drive. It's not all over the road. It's pretty straight and narrow. Don't wander. Takes curves real well to be as high as it is, the biggest tires it got. Got up to 125 miles an hour a couple times. It will definitely burn those 42s up. It would smoke the rubber off of them. I think the coolest thing about this truck is being the height, or look at all the little cars below you, and run them over if they get in the way. So everywhere I go, people just stop me, want to take pictures, want to see it go up and down. I haven't had one hater yet that come up and said, I do not like your truck. It's either go big or go home. She's good to go. She's, I say, a diamond in the rough.
From a super sexy SUV to a Bulldog better than before. Our next ride takes you on a trip back to the 70s.
You're not going to find another one because it's the only one in existence.
But in an SUV that's just 3 years old.
This thing is mind-blowing, off-the-line, peppy.
This is the Bulldog. This baby was built from scratch in honor of the legendary Chevy Blazer.
We don't really modify these trucks. We actually build these trucks from the ground up. We use parts from an original GM, but they've been reconfigured into, my designs. To be able to build something like this, to design it, and it still look like something GM actually built, is always going to be really special to me.
The Bulldog may look like a Chevy Blazer on steroids, but it never came out of a General Motors factory. This super SUV, man, is a complete custom. Based on a Chevy C50 medium truck chassis, each part of the hand-worked body has been sculpted and shaped to resemble a supersized Mark I Blazer.
I really try to make everything look like GM built it by using a lot of GM parts. The only part of this that's actually a Blazer is the part above the windshield. The rest of that thing is a little this, a little that.
This Bulldog was built with the detail and the design, a pure project of passion for Randall.
The dashboard, it's all original. It does have double din, so I basically just kind of dropped everything down to allow for that without taking anything away from the dash. Seats out of a 15 Sierra, which are electric and they're a lot more comfortable, and full foam, no springs. To build one of these flares from the beginning of the metalwork to the end of the bodywork is somewhere around 300 hours each flare.
To build a custom Chevy ain't no quick process, but the results are all in the drive.
It doesn't drive anything like it looks. Handles great, it's very stable on the road, it runs strong, sounds kind of cool. I love the turbochargers. It's a pretty cool truck. I love driving this thing. I cannot think of anything I've ever built that I love driving more than this right here.
Man, that's what it's about. Building something you love.
It's very stimulating to be able to craft trucks like this, improving on something that was already a really cool truck, right? I'm very proud of the work that I do. Otherwise, I just wouldn't do it.
From a beefed up Bulldog to a banging Basemobile. Our next ride, you'll definitely hear coming before you see it.
When you get in there, all you're gonna feel is that thump, 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 thump.
And when it reveals itself, man, you'll never forget.
Everything in this build is custom. I took it to the extreme.
This SUV has the power to blow your mind, your body, and your soul.
Wow, different, spectacular. I'm Jay Jones, and this is my truck, the 2004 Infiniti Tahoe. When people see the truck, their reaction be like, wow.
Man, this Tahoe is guaranteed to turn your head. And if it hits a show, man, it's coming home with the gold.
Everyone loves it. When I go to shows, it wins crazy trophies. I went and won 8 trophies in one day. Within a year, I won over 400 trophies.
When Jay bought his 2004 Tahoe, it was straight factory spec. But Jay had big plans. spending $60,000 to create the craziest truck on the block. But that wasn't enough. Jay splashed another $100,000 to take his Tahoe to the top.
We gutted the whole truck, took all the inside out. We had to find the actuators that would actually hold the tailgate because there's so much weight on there. Right here we have 6 12s. We have 6 2-inch horns back here, 4 tweeters with the ported box to give you that strong mid bass. I have 12 2-inch horns right here, 6 tweeters up here. I have 6 tweeters down here. Then I have 4 10s at the top, and then I have 2 10s right here.
Brother, that's some serious sound.
10,000 watt amp, along with the 4,000 watt amp for the mids and highs. And then we have 2 digital processors right here, 2 more 10Ks. So I got 30,000 watts just on my bass.
It's all about the bass, Jay.
My front doors, I have 4 12s, 1 big tweeter, and 3 2-inch horns on each door.
This Tahoe is packed door to door with pure power. Man, does it take your breath away.
You gotta learn how to control your breathing when you get inside this truck. Everybody think it's gonna hurt your ears, but it's not gonna hurt your ears. The thing is, it pulls your breath.
There's loud, and then there's ludicrously loud.
Basically, the interior is like breaking open a Reese's cup. It's tan, peanut butter. All right, here we got a custom back window, infinity mirror. It says Infinity Tahoe. They're made of infinity glass. I'm the first person to ever done infinity mirror doors. When people see the truck, they ask me questions like, can you stick your hand in it? Like, no, you can't stick your hand in it. I just put some little daddies on here. We call them little daddies because they small, so 24-inch rims with the custom wrap done to them. Then up under the hood, I have a 5.3-liter LS motor in it. 3 DS18 alternators. It has tune on it. It has the air intake done to it. I have to have that power to pull all this music that's in it.
But this ride ain't just sounds and lights. Jay built an SUV from pure passion. The Infinity Tahoe is a salute to his pops, who used to do car shows when Jay was a kid, and who now has sadly passed.
This helps me deal with the death of losing him. You know, it's like if I go do these shows and win, it helps me. It's like he there watching, cheering me on. What it's like to drive, man, it's a crazy experience. When you at the light, somebody's always looking. I drive this car anytime I feel like getting in the driver's shoes. I go to the store, I drive it all over. It's really a daily driver.
Lights, power, music, bass. What more do you need from an ultimate SUV?
When I turn the music up, it shake their car. Some of them old people get mad. I just be laughing.
Our next ride is one of the most legendary vehicles to ever be produced in the UK.
I love the rawness of the Land Rover.
Driven by British royalty, a solid workhorse, and still loved today. So if you had the chance to bring one back from decay,
Most people would say it was unrestorable, it should be used as a door in a car.
man, that would be special. This is the Land Rover S02A.
So I grew up on a working farm, so my granddad had a Land Rover, and yeah, some of my first memories stem back from being in that Land Rover. The quirks and the character and the charm of Land Rovers is something that got me from a very young age, and that's basically where my passion for Land Rovers all started.
This Land Rover Series 2A is the ultimate British off-roader, now immaculately restored from a pretty sorry state. Considered the most hardy model ever constructed, the Series 2A had superstar quality, featured in hundreds of TV shows and documentaries. Wayne put in upwards of $50,000 into the original rusted shell, bringing it back to life in a one-of-a-kind, show-stopping car that he's always dreamt of.
And I've always had a dream to kind of create one from ground up. So it was just a great passion to just bring one back to life, purely with my own spec. December 2019, we sourced a Land Rover that was been left in a field for over 10 years. It had rotten away, there was Not a lot left of it. The car is originally, when it was new, it was on a shooting estate in Scotland. Then it got put to rest in a field. We dragged it out of the field, bought it off the owner, and that's where the planning started.
Man, I love a restoration. This was a project of pure passion.
The full restoration from ruin to road was 18 months. The criteria for the car, for me, was to keep it looking standard. It's got the original chassis, the original bulkhead, and the original panels. Obviously, they've all been refurbished. But to have a few subtle twists, should we say, on the original spec. The chassis took a lot of time and money. But I suppose that's part of the fun. We brought a car that 99% of probably restorers would say it's too far gone. So one of the key parts of the build was to make it sound as good as possible. The twin side exit exhaust, there isn't one on the market, it's the only one in the world. So it's all bespoke and custom made. We removed the balance pipes to give it that real lumpy sound. This colour is actually called Bahama Gold. So Range Rover Classic, Series 3 Land Rovers had this colour.
This Landy is looking lovely, man. Wayne has worked wonders.
It's got Land Rover Defender hinges. Obviously, we've got the spare wheel on the bonnet. The windscreen with the bonnet with this bolt flops down and it fits very nicely onto the spare wheel, so great for the summer driving. So around the front, it's got the lights in the centre instead of on the wings. This is 1960s air conditioning for you. The engine, it's a 3.9 V8 out of a Discovery 1. It's known as the Serpentine engine, so it's got the dry belt on the front. So the engine bay is very tidy, everything looks like it's factory, but it's got 3 times more power than the factory original. All the original panels here, tidied up, labelled nicely. 4-wheel drive, these 4-speed gearbox. This is the Mark 1 Mini indicator stalk. Nice and tidy and really does just fit in with the rest of the car. One of the ideas for the rear wood in the back is something that was really durable and strong, so it's got lots of layers of lacquer on it, so you can't scratch it. The wood is IROC ore, so it looks a bit like a 60s speedboat.
This Land Rover restoration was smooth sailing, and the evidence is all in the drive.
Every time you go in that car, wherever you're going, it's an adventure. So you go to the corner shop in that, it turns into an adventure. Such a pure driving experience. The smell of them, just everything about them is so unique and just unique to Land Rover. This car has got a personality, characteristics, and it's got a soul. It's the rawness, it's the mechanical feel of them. It's, to me, the imperfections of a Land Rover are what make it perfect.
From a British legend to an SUV seriously slammed. Our final ride to roll up is an automotive icon. A ride good enough for everyone.
3 words to describe this: damn near impossible. It is top-of-the-line luxury SUV, and it is slammed on the ground with ginormous wheels.
Oh, brother.
You're never gonna see another one like this.
This is the Slam Cadillac Escalade.
The lowered vehicles with large wheels, doesn't get no better than that if you ask me. High-end luxury, the look that you get, even when you have a stock Escalade, people know that you got a little bit of coin in your pocket. The amount of money that went into this, the amount of money that it took to purchase it, without a doubt, it's the coolest Escalade the world's ever gonna see.
Lowrider mega fan Jake McKitty has taken the royalty of luxury SUVs and converted it into a slammed caddy. Starting off life as a $108,000 stock 2021 Cadillac Escalade, Jake and his team cut it up and completely customized it into a one-of-a-kind Super Slammer. But Jake don't mess around, man. When he wants to do something, he does it quick.
Believe it or not, we stuffed this build into about 8 or 9 weeks. He dropped it off, and we didn't waste any time building a full bumper-to-bumper chassis on it. A lot of sheet metal work went into it. It was a lot of cutting to get it down that low. Working with our electronics to get it to talk and be happy, and to run and drive again and start up, do what it needs to do was pretty difficult.
I feel you, brother.
Some of the major modifications were obviously the full chassis. We built a bumper-to-bumper full chassis on the Escalade. There's a lot of rocker panels on that, a lot of length, and it puts every one of them on the ground. It puts the front bumper on the ground, the back bumper on the ground. It's low. On this Escalade, we chose a 30x9 and a 30x11 MTW billet wheels. The Escalade comes from the factory with a 6.2 liter V8 that's pretty healthy as is, so we didn't mess with it a whole lot. It's got the 10-speed transmission, so it's almost super seamless on shifting.
Jake continued the crazy customs throughout.
We go ahead and open the hood here. You can see the wheel tubs that we put into it to clear the 30-inch wheels. One of the things when we're running this large of a diameter wheel and tire, we did upgrade the brakes with a Willwood 6-piston caliper and a 16-inch drilled and slotted rotor. I mean, you got this big of a wheel, you don't want little bitty stock brakes in there. So the exhaust on this does go all the way to the back and comes out of the rear bumper just like it would from the factory. We'll open this thing up. And you can see the limited space for the little bit of groceries. Overall, you can see the wheel tubs of how large those have to be to clear those 30x11s. As you can see here is rear entertainment. This has got all the bells and whistles. That's the goal of this thing, is the mashup of luxury and cool. You just put them together and that's what you get.
When they see you rolling, man, they ain't hating.
Man, the reaction of people, they can't believe it. Most people haven't even seen a brand new Escalade, much less when they see this one, and it's laid out on the ground with 30-inch wheels on it. It just blows their mind. They see this thing and they're just mind-boggled of how did you get it that low? How did you get that big of a wheel on it? I mean, you can pull up in a gas station and start to get some gas, and everybody's like, it's to put something different out there that the world hasn't seen before. What it is from the factory to what we turned it into, that to me is the coolest thing. I've been around it for a few months now and it's still insane to me.
Five rides that prove you can style your SUV in any way you want to. Crazy, man. We'll see you next time right here on Ultimate Rides.